Good morning. No, good afternoon. It's 12:31 in the NWA. 30 degrees, nice and cold. It's a very beautiful, shitty day in the neighborhood. Let's do the 3 minutes to save the world. You know, these kind of videos, depending on your vibe coding, what you look like, how you're acting, the way you're talking, the way you're walking, the way you're breathing, the way your body's moving, the way your words sound, what you're wearing, where you're at, the lighting. All that plays a part in whether people are going to listen to you. And those things are very important. Like if you want to get a bunch of followers, you're definitely going to have to do all of those things if you want a bunch of followers. But anyways, let's go ahead and ruin all of that right now. All right, we got several topics on the table right now, metaphorically and literally. These are some topics, not exactly the notes I'm using for this quarter's manuscript, but they are notes, in fact. Let's see. New notes on the True Love papers. We'll skip that one. Life-changing, world-changing. That sounds pretty interesting. Makes you wonder what's in that folder. The 5 great traps of the subconscious. Wills, motives, intentions across 5 illusions. That'd be something decent in there to look at. It'd be hard to pull a topic out of that and do it in 3 minutes flat and actually paint a picture that's coherent, unless the person is already studying those kind of things. Let's see, latest notes on the survival roles. One dude versus integrated. Now this is fun right here. This is fun. All right, let's see. Field manual for anti-fragile humanity. That could be a fun one right there. Commander's intent. Let's see, what exactly introduced blockchain? There's a little history right there. Blockchain of the human soul. That's a good little topic that I haven't quite studied yet. The sovereign oneness protocol. That could be interesting. The one thing I would unveil next. That's probably a pretty good paper. Let's see. The Land for Land Manifesto. The 3 mansions model, the no war mechanism. These are all pretty good. The life of meaning. I like how I clenched my hands. The life of meaning. All right. This firing from the hip thing, it is pretty annoying because it doesn't come out streamlined or seemingly coherent, I mean, it's like in order to look at it, you got to leave your mind very open and pliable, and you got to be in a certain frame of mind during the day. See, we have phases our mind goes through the day, depending on a lot of different factors. One of them is a creative mind. One of them is a very direct, cut and dry, task-orientated, kind of closed-minded, very cut and dry kind of mind phase that could last an hour to 2 hours of the day or more, depending on who you are and how you are and what you're doing. So anyways, let's go through some of the notes that I carry, some of the things that I read. This is a fun one right here. This is a really, really fun one. Like I've been living here for 1 year in NWA, Northwestern Arkansas. And as I ride my bicycle to stage 4376 to do the acting job there, Sam Walton's grave is along the way. Samuel Moore Walton, the man that kicked it all off, him and his. This is where it all happened. This is what made America, and this is what's making America, and this is what continues to be a huge staple, and why a huge staple in America as to why we're still pretty awesome. And a lot of that has to do with Sam Walton's commander's intent. The commander's intention that he's got a couple of them, one for the general public and then one for us, the associates. He doesn't have employees; he has associates, big difference. But anyways, it's what is it? It's live better, save money, live better, save money, kind of thing. And see, the whole principle on everything they do, and even now, is about being the best at everything they do. That's one thing that you don't really hear. That was the main thing. Just no matter what you're doing, just be the best at it every day, a little bit. But the main one is to try to save money, eliminate everything that's bleeding out, stop the bleeding, and then get it healed up. That was his thing. All the way from the manufacturer, all the way to the distributor, to the warehouse, to everything. Just stop the bleeding. Anything that's wasting money, stop it. That was his thing. And it's still Walmart's thing. And as they do that, instead of pocketing the money, well, a lot of it is, but that goes back into cutting those prices back and then taking that straight to the customer. And because of that philosophy, our country isn't overrun with greed too much. It's because of that. It's like that forces all the competitors throughout the United States to have to do the same if they want to compete, or they won't have any damn customers. You can see how the Waltons have really saved our ass in that aspect. All right, so moving right along. So to make a long story short, I'd go by this man's grave, and I'd talk to him, even though he's not there. I'd talk to the spirit of Samuel Moore Walton and tell him basically told him my life story a little bit, and my writings and how my manuscripts have been coming out and the projects I got going on, and how I stumbled across the love of writing, in particular the True Love Papers. But anyways, I started hacking on him one day. I started getting real serious about this thing. At first, it was kind of a plaything, a psychological thing for me, just kind of a psychological research I do on myself that I always do all the time anyway, these past several years. But I thought, okay, he had something that was very, very unique. He was wildly successful with people. Obviously. So what were those things that made him wildly successful with people? It's like, really, what was it? And was it just something naturally that came about because the way he just kept replicating the system over and over and over and over that unfolded Walmart to be the biggest in America? It was a few million employees, bigger than anyone and everyone. Is it that? Did that shape his personality to be that? Or is it something that could be learned? Something that you could give like a simple one page to where you wrote these things out. And it's like you practice those things every day and keep those things up front in your mind to where you could see through the lens the way Sam Walton looked at the world, and in particular, the way he looked at people. If you came around here to Northwest Arkansas, to Bentonville, and you went through the museums, you start reading the books about him and stuff like that, and the literature, and you start digging around, you'll start seeing this thing that keeps popping up over and over and over. And it's this thing where he had the ability to make the common man, all the way down to the freaking janitor, to the cashiers, to everyone, all these men and women in these so-called lower positions. He had the ability to make them feel like a hero. That word, hero, pops up quite frequently. So what was he doing? Or what was he being? How was he talking? How was he acting? What kind of vibe was he giving off to make these people think that they're a hero? it was some kind of dignity. He had some kind of way of doing some kind of dignity. Something, he had a way of looking through a lens that would, the way he looked at people. And he's got the exact opposite thing. One of his little pet peeves that he would tell people, didn't matter if it was managers or not, he was all about the merchandising. It's like, man, that's it, merchandising. He would say, think small. Think small area, think small company inside of a company, like, think small. Think real small. And I haven't really got to talk to anybody directly knew him that's really still alive. I haven't come across any of those elders yet that I know of. But that right there, I think he knew the value of a seed. A little bitty seed, grows into something so big so quickly, depending on, if the conditions are right and stuff like that, and the kind of seed. All right, but anyways, having said all that, and I painted that happy little picture, going by this man's grave, I'd say, Samuel Walton, you were wildly successful with people. That was obviously something extremely powerful. And obviously, you did not write a book about that in particular. There's been books written on Sam Walton and his ways, but as for a simple one-pager that everyone could go by, that would get them in the direction of what he was doing and have it be real, not something that's like manipulative or any shit like that, but something that is straight up. It's real. It's based off of some real psychological, spiritual principles of reality and total vibe with human nature. So anyways, going by there, this person would go to his grave and be like, Samuel Walton, you were wildly successful with people. You went to the grave. You did not leave an how-to or a why-to one-pager for your people of how and why you were being that way. You took it to the grave with you, dude. And you didn't leave it with anybody that I know of. As far as I know, you didn't leave it with your grandchildren. You didn't leave it with your children. You didn't leave it with your children and your children's children. Don't know if you left it with any of your associates. Maybe little hints of it there, little echoes. Definitely huge echoes. Definitely huge waves in the pond. But no, I'm talking about something that could be replicated. Just like the system that moved the products and the merchandise all the way from the manufacturer to getting it to the warehouses, from the warehouses to the stores, from the stores to the people. That, but of the mind. Because right now we're at a time to where we need that page. We need that commander's intent, an ethos, a mission, and a purpose to help evolve humanity. Anyways, as I was doing that pretty much every other day, sometimes every day, I did that over a period of several weeks. And of course, always having a pen and paper ready. Some things I already do to where I write these things about what, to shape my demeanor. When I'm on break at work, I pull them out, I go off by myself and I read these things that help kind of shape my mind into that mindset and to look at myself and others that way and see the world that way. It's like things started rearranging quickly as I'm going there asking for this Samuel Moore Walton to give me what it was that he shouldn't have took that to the grave with him, that he should have left it here on earth with us because he doesn't need it in heaven. Everyone has that in heaven. That's nothing there. That's nothing. Here, it's everything. So, could it be, if you want to, dignity as a master key? All right, 3 minutes to save the world. Here we go. Let's get the timer set. Seen, saved, sorted. Seen is how we love. We look not through the lens of fear, but through presence. We see with reverence, not fixing, not filtering, not requirement. Just full recognition where love and tolerance begin and invisibility ends. Safe is how we hold space. We become the quiet shelter that holds space by making it safe. the place of no demands nor nothing forced. It is where truth can exhale and nothing is rest. This is where truth can breathe without fear. Sorted is how we heal, to give each pain its name and each memory its meaning. The returning of what is not ours and to reclaim what is. To return each story to its rightful place, to walk through the tangle and bring it into order. The weight is lifted and what remains is wholeness. That's the way of true love paper. All right, moving right along. Now this. Number one, am I this is the lens to try to keep when you're looking at the world and yourself even. Number one, am I respecting their space? Am I respecting their time? Am I respecting their emotional capacity in the moment? Am I treating them as an equal in humanity, not above nor below, but equal? Would I speak this way to someone I admire? Am I fully listening or dismissing them mentally while they speak? Do I give them freedom to self-define, even if it breaks my heart? Would I still love, respect them if they completely outgrew every role they play in my life? Am I listening to understand or to confirm what I already believe about them? That's a huge ticket right there. That's a big ticket. It's a big ticket item. Do I make space for them to surprise me? That's another big ticket item. Do I avoid demanding that they be legible, consistent, or convenient? Do I accept uncomfortable truths about them? Very big ticket item. Do I allow their full complexity, even the parts that contradict each other? Massive ticket, huge ticket. Do I respond to who they are in the moment, not who they were in my memory? Golden ticket. Do I stay curious even when they change? Those are a few ways of possibly having 3 minutes to save the world. All right, that was 3 minutes to save the world. What time is it? Time to head to the stage. Yep. All right. There you go. Have a good one. See you on the next one. See you in the funny paper.